Hey, R2, how's it going, guys? Well, I'm I know you guys are a little bit tired. If you haven't done any of your late assignments, please, for God's sake, you could get them done in class. They're not that complicated. Please get the stuff in. It's an ECA, the criticism. Don't overthink it. Just, when you do the critique, describe, analyze, interpret, and judge. Read the questions. Give me a sentence for each answer, and that's it. No, just make sure you're talking about the answer, okay? I mean, the correct answer, what you're seeing. It's all visual. Art sounds as horrible as it is. It's all superficial. There's no profound, in-depth meaning of art. I mean, there is, but see, you're in high school now. Anyways, our project for week number 4. So we saw a lot of art, and you also found out that I'm not a big fan when we're going through our tour of the Broad. I'm not a big fan of Jeff Koons. Andy Warhol, I didn't like him when I was a kid. Now I'm like, okay, I get the complicity of his artwork now because art historians are, you know, redeeming his image. But we're going to do an artist I did respect. And they call it Skull, but it's really, there's no name to it. And I think he was more important than Keith Haring because that's what Art One's doing. I want you guys, we're going to be doing our self portrait, but it's going to be abstract. And we're going to do it as Jean Michel Basquiat. I really I had I still have two prints. The skateboards he did. He did a limited edition of those, and I still have those. Two of them. My nephew has one. I have the other one at home. It's not. They're not the originals. They're a limited edition he had made, and he had them printed. So there's a logo. His signature's still there. He signed all of them. But again, artists like you just mass produce. That's where you make your money. So I'm going to ask you two things for your self portrait. You can use a mirror, or if you have ever Xerox copy, you have a Xerox copy of an old photo of yours or a photo right now. You can do that. I actually photocopied one of my old photos without glasses when I had a beard last year. So I kind of dug this up. I was going to use a magazine or look up yearbook pictures. So I guess I'm going to do this. And I'm going to show you, if you don't have a light box, what to do. All you need right now is a pencil and computer paper. That's what we're going to do. I am going to tape this to my window. You're going to see me do it right now. You see my window there? And you're not going to copy all of it because we're going to do it abstract. We're going to copy, but we're not going to do a full... It's not going to be realism. We're going to do our self-portrait just like we did last year. So for your test, I'm going to post this here like this. Okay, guys? Right now, I have to go quick because my sunlight's going. My light's going. I'd rather have you guys do it in class during the morning. Put this up like that. And you don't need to have an expensive light box. That's what I used to use when I was a kid. And still when I was in my 20s. A few years ago when I couldn't afford a light box. So I'm going to grab more tape. And I'm going to tape it using the light. I might just keep my beard on this one. So we're going to do an abstract. I'm going to also use our subconscious. So watch me right now. So I'm going to put it, the sheet of paper, you see that just like in the video. And you're going to trace your self-portrait. I want you guys to become accustomed to your face. So I have an eye here. So I might just, doesn't have to be perfect. Just my lip. Yeah, my facial. My ear. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because we're going to be doing it in the style of Jacques-Michel Basquiat. I do have a hairline. My nose. Keep forgetting my nose. I'm not going very detailed on this. I'll tell you why, guys. It is going to be an allegory. Okay, I'm going to keep this eye here. I'm trying to remember where's my weak eye. So I'm going to do this eye better. I think this, which is, yeah, I'm trying to remember. This is my weak eye, where I got injured when I was 20 years old. So I want you guys, when you do your portrait, we are going to be working on subconscious. What do we do? Good, okay. so now we're doing an allegory. I'm not a big fan of allegories, but we're gonna have to use it. Okay. Okay, this is because of our visit to the Broad online. I think we're done tracing. So this is like having a light box. Okay, and I'll tell you why I kind of sketched it really not detailed. I didn't go into the lines. I didn't spend 20 or an hour on it. Because we're going to do just like Basquiat. And basically, and the field in art you can go to. So now I really don't need my self-portrait anymore. So I can say goodbye to this right now. And still using the pencil before we color. I'm going to advise you guys mix. I want you guys to pick 2 warm colors versus 3 cold colors. Or if you cannot find any warm colors, I want you guys to think of, so here's myself drawing quick. You guys can barely see it. So this is my weak guy where I got hit. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm also going to leave the tape here. Using the pencil, I'm going to put an X right here. And you know what? I'm actually going to do a frame. Because Keith Haring and Basquiat, but I'm not going to do a frame like you see those frames. The frames are going to have stuff that it's about me. So when you guys do this with your self-portrait, you're going to put stuff that's only you know what it means, but you don't have to share it directly with people. Okay, but you know it's personal. So what I'm going to do, and we're doing contemporary modern art. So I already framed it with the ruler. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm going to keep it down here like this so you guys can see. This is right, but I'm going to share some personal stuff with you guys. My ears here. So I am leaving where my lip is. Okay, my lip goes here. It doesn't have to be abstract. So I'm going to start with my injured eye that got injured when I was 20 years old, when I was with some friends. So I'm putting an X through it for 2 reasons. I was just turning 20, but I'm going to do a double X. Because in Roman numerals, 2 X's means 20. So I just add, so. I'm going to put another X here. It's going to look like a stitch. So this is another X. But I know it stands for 20, and I'm going to put an I here. Because I have 9. If I subtract 1 from 10, which is an X, that's how many 9 blind spots I have on my weak eye. So erase that. Erase that. So again, there's a lot of symbolism here. Just like John Basquiat had his head divided, think of, we're going to divide it into 1, like this, 2, 4, or 3 things. In the first place, I would say, where were you born? I'm from LA, so I really was born in Los Angeles, although we moved around a lot. So I don't know if I should I'm thinking, I don't want to put LA, that's just too easy. So what I'm going to do is 5 cylinders for the Bonaventure Hotel. Because it's a postmodern building. I am from that generation. And I'm putting just, so there. Everybody does the Hollywood Hills, you know that, but when we moved back, that's all I remember of the Bonaventure Hotel. Didn't care for it. Leave this. Another thing I have lived is, we have lived in Madrid. So the gates of the city of Madrid, it's called the Gates of Alcalá. So I'll probably will put that there. But I don't want to draw the whole thing. So there's 1, 2, 3 arches and 3 square arches. So I'm going to draw 3 holes here into my head. Then another, following this line, the 3 arches. It was built during the reign of Charles III. If you ever go downtown to Olvera Street, there's the statue of the king who built this in Madrid, Charles III of Spain. He was not a so go this. I'm just going to make 3 holes shaped like purchase. And just, okay. So, put another place I live. So I'm putting 3 places I live. I had. You guys can do something like that too if you want to. So Los Angeles, Madrid, Brussels. I did live in Rome briefly, but I spent more time in Brussels. So I'm going to do a tower backwards. There are a lot of Flemish old palaces that look like castles there. So I'm gonna. It looks like a rocket. It's gonna go this way. And then I did it. The other place I lived. Did move back to LA. Antelope Valley. Let's. I can't draw a you know what? Should I draw a Joshua tree? The poor things are getting sick and dying. So I don't know. What should I do, guys? Should I put I'm gonna do a fuss of a Joshua tree. Okay. There. Gonna do an L here. Another I. Only I know what this means. You don't have to share your stuff. There's my beer. So I'm making a V here. Another I. I don't know. It means it means symbolic to me. I'm not gonna share that much, but you guys don't have to too. So notice how it's coming out little by little. Okay. I'm leaving my droopy nose here. My eyes covered. It looks like it's covered by an eye patch, but it's really my injury. Okay. And my ear, God, well, stuff I used to like to do. I used to like skateboarding, snowboarding. I'm going to do a board. Not a real skateboard, not a real surfboard. But something I used to like to do in my youth I can't do anymore. Because I'm old. It sucks getting old. So think of stuff you like doing. Okay? I miss my friends. Oh, I miss traveling. So I might do an airplane. You know, I'm going to do probably something that looks like a plane. So right now you're doing allegory. Okay, so you see your self-portrait. I'm going to do a sunset, but upside down. Just like a horizon line I taught you guys. So I'm going to draw some mountains here behind me. Not going to look that great. Is that the ice cream truck? Yeah. And I'm going to put the clouds up here. So, and the reason is being stuck in COVID-19. All of our worlds have been turned upside down. So we can use Basquiat. Actually, he had a lot of issues, but he did use a lot of the art for self-therapy. So I'm using this right now. Just like you guys, I hope you're using this for therapy. And this is something we saw. So I'm making my clouds. I'm making a foggy atmosphere. I'm making my mountains upside down because my world's been flipped around, just like you guys. Okay, so what else do I like to do? Travel. Okay, so I'm going to make wheels. Because wheels travel. Put the ring here. You don't, like I said, you don't have to share stuff. I'm sharing a little bit with you guys, but not everything. So, okay, so see what's going on. See how, what else? Make this into a wheel or tire. Okay, what else do I like doing? I like my mom and my family. I miss my dad. Oh, Lord. I didn't finish the bird. I was going to draw an airplane, but I'm going to do something that looks like a pterodactyl. Because I know I like to travel. Doesn't have to. I miss the ocean. So I'm making waves here. And the bird's up here. And again, I miss the ocean. Yeah. And I'm pretty much done with my sketch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a crayon, a black one. If you have a Sharpie, please use a Sharpie. That's good. Whatever you have, a black crayon or whatever, that will work. But I'm going to start coloring. So right now, I'm going to start coloring. I don't have blue eyes. I'm just going to do this for my eye. Something wrong with this eye. So, and the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to do the outlines later, is because if I do it now, they're going to smear it. And I almost got, that was the problem I was going to have with the whatchamacallit, with the Keith Haring, what I did with Art 1. You guys are doing Basquiat. So we're doing our self-portrait as Basquiat would have done. Okay, so I'm going to go with the blue first, or the purple that I have around the house. So, and I should be using cross-hatching lines here to color in. You don't have to. I wouldn't be filling it in because I don't think Basquiat would have done that. And so now, here's my shadow. Bring this here. There we go. We're going to be doing this. So this is all subconscious. I picked my life injuries, where I have lived, where I've been. Not all the places, but most of them. You guys who've had me for Art 1, you know a little bit about me more. My new students this year will get to know me. So I am basically, putting personal stuff here. This is really not an X. Actually, I just realized this looks more like a Greek Orthodox or Russian Orthodox cross. Okay, so I think I'm going to make my letters into, I'm going to use this now. Okay, so you guys, so I've already done sketch. So I'm right now filling in my face with the cold color first. And I'm going to pick a warm color to go with. That's what Basquiat's method was. Okay, so I'm going to stop here because if I do the eye the same color, it's going to crash. So, and whoever tells you modern art is not easy, no, it's not, trust me. Some artists do spend a lot of time figuring out the planning stage. I have to be honest with you guys. I actually spent all day Saturday while I was doing my errands planning out the Basquiat for you guys. Not the Keith Haring. The Keith Haring's kind of easy for Art 1, but for Art 2, and this is how I started thinking, okay, what am I going to think about? And especially when you do a self-portrait in abstract method, you are sharing your personal stuff. You're actually writing down a little bit of your biography down there. So I have this. That's blue. That's coal. I might just grab, I had an orange somewhere. You know what? I'm probably not going to use the orange for that one, but I do have a red. So I am going to use the red right now for the eye. Okay. And that's okay. Use a lot of... And we're going to outline later. I should have... It's easier when you outline, but it's better this way because... And I'm going to cross-hatch here. And I know why. So I want to have some contrast here. Where does my eye go here for my beard? There we go. So, actually, this is giving my age out. Turning 49 and it's scaring me. So I put the Roman numeral. So now, I'm going to use this to outline the red. Do the box here, put that in there, put that there. Now, people are going to say, what is this? You know, I know what it means to me. I'm not going to share that unless I write in my biography, like Basquiat should have done. But he only told his friends, his close, intimate friends. For a while, Andy Warhol was a close, intimate, but they grew apart. And Andy Warhol was worry about him. He would go talk to Basquiat's dad about, worry, and so were his sisters, and they knew Andy Warhol cared. He actually took care of his parents. I mean, his dad, Basquiat's dad, and his sisters after he passed away. So, okay, so now I'm gonna go back to the purple. For some reason, I have this weird symbol here. Okay, what's going on here? So that's the problem I have with when I do modern. It's easier to get lost. Okay, there's the eye. You want to add more stuff, go for it. So I'm using right now what I found around my desk, like you guys might have to find around the house. Crayons will work too great. Actually, I think they would work better. I do have crayons at home, and my father used to use them as an artist too. That was one of his hobbies. And I do have it in the classroom for you guys, but I'm going to share a little secret. I'm allergic to crayons, the wax, because they actually use beehive wax, and it doesn't bother me too much, but it does affect me, so. And that's probably why I subconsciously should put some wax in there. Okay, I'm going to just fold this X where my injured eye is. So I have basically an X for and another X saying it happened to me when I was 20, but then I subtract a small I from the second X, and that symbolizes the 9 blind spots in Roman numerals. But at the same time, it looks like a Russian Orthodox crucifix. I just realized that just happened accidentally. Now I realize there was a young lady who was Russian Orthodox, and I used to like her. So I'm not going to get into that. That's too personal. I don't want to talk about it. And coming back to this, so that's the L. Okay, the L for 50, and the I says subtract 1. So I'm doing this totally. This is all subconscious, guys. So it's okay to work with your subconscious. You're not going to tell anybody directly, unless you want to, what's going on in your head. And I'm going to start cross-hatching here, too. Okay, good. Now, I am going to use the red for the Joshua tree. Even though Joshua trees, we have a little bit green and stuff like that, I'm not a big fan of them. Let's see what's going on, guys. So now, using this, I'm going to go back to the blue again. And I'm going to do the fine lines. My nostril. Using this, I'm going to use the red for my lips. Okay, so you want to think of contrast too of color. So I'm using the red because purple here is cold. What else? Madrid. Doesn't look too good for what I wanted. There were a lot of turrets in Brussels when we lived there. And in Belgium. There were always a Gothic arch. I remember those. Sister Marguerite Angeli noticed I loved doing art. She always had me drawing on the board for everybody when we had to do something. And my cousin was born. The ginger, as we used to say. And his dad was from Spain. His mom was from Belgium. On my mom's side. So there were a lot of turrets like that. Like crazy about Joshua trees. I'm gonna do my. Okay, it's coming out, guys. Little by little. I'm gonna darken this side of the lips too. This side more. I'm gonna keep the line there. I'm gonna use hatching lines. I'm gonna keep this cross hatching. And use that. There we go. A lot of It's getting there. Oh Lord. Surfboard. I'm going to use a lot of hatching lines here. Maybe. And I'm going to bring my orange. I don't know why I'm bringing the orange now, but something told me to bring the orange in. Could be a skateboard, could be a surfboard. I'm not going to say much, but it's part of my life growing up. Put this in. Let's see, what else can I use the blue for? I'm going to use the blue for the cross hatching for the clouds. The mountains are upside down. Horizon line. Better if I do the cross hatching for the clouds this way. The curves, the arches. This is my personal stuff. I don't know what you guys want to put in there, but I'm using my personal experience as Basquiat would have done. See that? So it's coming out. So the clouds, I'm doing them upside down. There's actually an upside down valley. And leave that in there. Leave that. Oh, almost forgot the Bonaventure. The 5 cylinders. So I'm leaving that for the top. Do that. The Bonaventure Hotel in downtown LA. A little shadow here, a little bit more here. I'm not going to cover all of it because it doesn't have to be completely done. I'll finish the cloud here. Okay. So now, I just might put, because there's water, so I'm going to put watermarks here. Later on. And I'm going to have the contrast, the purple. And these pens are dying on me too, so I'm doing this on purpose. Because you want to imagine John Basquiat being low on supplies. So. Okie dokie. I'm going to use some black, I'll be honest with you. Right now I'm going to do the hair. Just a few texture of the facial hair. Okay, remind me there's a surfboard there. The wheels. I used to like moving around a lot. Starting new things. I get easily bored if I stay in one place too long, and that's what's happening to me. I'm not fully done, but I'm going to start outlining with my black crayon. If you have a Sharpie, because you want to see the image, so I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to take a break from this. I'm going to start outlining my face. So I'm going to use this. Okay. And what just happened? Oh my God, don't tell me what happened. Oh my God, I did the same thing I did when I was a little kid all over again. It's okay. There we go. It got fixed. So I got my crayon here. These are, my dad and I used to use these. So right now I'm going to outline like a Sharpie, except in wax. My nose, it's not going to be perfect. I don't want it to look, it's all symbolic, guys. So my eyebrows. I forgot where my hair goes. I'm gonna follow the lines I did of my face. Don't want to use too much of this. This is more like an outline. I'm gonna use symbolic waves here. I'm gonna sketch the surfboard first, so I won't smear it into the face. So you can use a black crayon to outline your stuff, just like Basquiat would have done. Are you trying to do it like a Basquiat would have done? No, I don't want you to. I want you guys to create your own original. It's personal, guys. That's what Basquiat did. He drew his unnamed portrait of face when he had an accident happen to him. So think of something traumatic, if you haven't started yet, something that traumatic happened to you in childhood. Don't share it with us. Just something that happened to you. And, you know, for me, I didn't like when we used to move around. a lot. I didn't like learning a new language at first. Didn't want to meet new people. I was happy with my school in LA. Didn't want to leave the city. And then I just got used to that. I just like moving around. So here's my wheel. So definitely a wheel because one moves around. I moved out of the Antelope Valley so many times. But when my dad got sick, I had to come back and take care of him. And then my mom. And we were supposed to, my dad was, before he passed away, we were supposed to leave here. He was supposed to leave here and get out. He didn't like it here either. And we were supposed, I'm going to put a block here. We're supposed to move somewhere. Well, they were going to move up north close to my sister. There's my ear. So it is my face. So notice that, guys? Okay. The problem is, I'm not happy with this right now. With this wheel, right? It's not a perfect wheel. It's a lot of stream of consciousness. I'm go back to my, that doesn't even look like a, I'm making for a substitute of the plane, a pterodactyl, or what do you call those dinosaurs that could fly? There we go. And only, don't want to use too much black. I think I'm going to be done with this right now. Don't want to use too much black. There's my broken eye. Can use this for graying it out for my nose. There we go. I'm not going to put too much. It's not exactly the gates of Alcalá of Madrid, but close. Other parts of Spain I live too, but mountains. I like mountains for some reason too. And water. And I'm going to do this. I'm not fully done yet, guys. So now, let's see what I can use for substitute. I have a lot of, I'm going to come back to the blue. I'm not happy with my surfboard. I'm going to use a lot of cross hatching now for my surfboard. And the reason I'm using the color purple blue, the violet blue, because it symbolizes water, but coolness, and the opposite of what the Antelope Valley is, the color of sand, which I don't like. I'm fed up with deserts. Don't want to live in the desert anymore. So there we go. So we have this contrast here too. So now, I had an orange colored pencil here. I'm going to use this for my face. I'm going to make my skin orange. I don't know why. Please, if you're making that joke, don't you dare compare me to that person. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is so I can have a contrast to the rest of my face. To the beard, so think of anything you have lying around, use it if you have it. Put a little bit of orange here with the black. See that? So it's slowly coming out to a something Basquiat would have done. My wheel. I'm going to do it orange too. So now these two can play. If you notice something, I'm kind of using the parts I would have shaded. I'm putting the orange, and where the parts where the light would have hit are going in black. I did that subconsciously, just to, I don't know, maybe to annoy myself. Yeah. That's where the shadow should have gone, but I didn't put it there. It's not a perfect wheel. And I'm going to do that right now with the purple cross hatchet. Bring that in, cross. And I'm mixing wax and ink, color pencil ink don't work too well. And Basquiat was good at mixing those. Am I going to make the colored beard? I gotta find a color that will contrast it. I do have a blue pen. Does it work? No, doesn't work. Okay, so again, but I do have this blue here, my dad's mustard. So I'm going to make this a lighter blue right now. It does contrast the purple. And it's a lighter blue for the hair too. Sorry, Dad, I didn't want to use this. I'm going to stop it here. I'm not going to use it all on my head. I just used the red. So see that, guys? I think my dad would be okay if I used this blue pencil. There we go. So it's coming out. It reminds me a little bit of David Bowie. I don't know why, but it does. Where's the skin for the orange skin now? So yeah, you want to have contrast in design, guys. You do your self-portrait in the style of Basquiat. Now what I'm going to do is, since this is supposed to be a landscape, I'm going to put yellow light here. I'm using my highlighter. Okay, a little bit of light here, a little bit of light here. Maybe some more light down here to contrast the rest of my face. Okay, now I'm not fully done with the black crayon. I took a break from it because I didn't want to cover it completely. I'm leaving my eye like that. Now I'm outlining the, as Basquiat would have probably done it, like a Sharpie. Okay, good. Doing the upper part of my eye. I think I will do the lip too. Do the lines. Okay, it's coming around. For some reason, my beard just stopped going into that spot. There we go. And all of this is subconscious, guys. So I'm going to encourage you guys to use your subconscious to do it. So now what I'm doing is I'm outlining the Roman numerals I use to mention my age and when my accident to my eye happened. Okay, I think I'm going to frame this here. Not fully done. If you want to add some stuff up there, up here, do a lightning bolt. Another lightning bolt. And because I'm still having flashbacks of my eye injury. It happened at night, and when it got hit in the eye with a snowball packed with rocks, it hurt a lot. So, hair. I'm gonna do this part yellow. I don't know why, but I'm going with yellow here. Okay. Use the pink. Slowly pink here. Just so I can have some contrast to this. Somebody just texts me and says, hey, it looks like Ziggy Stardust. Nothing like Ziggy Stardust, trust me. It might be. I did like that album when I was a little kid in elementary school, but I don't think it has nothing to do. So, notice how it's slowly coming out, like Basquiat's. And I'm gonna mess around with, where's the orange? Here's the orange. Okay, mix. Now I'm gonna start coloring a little bit more with the orange, a those fine lines I lost. I'm going to darken the face. Make one side darker than the other. Got to be careful with that, especially my nose here. So I'm going to have, even though it's the same color of orange, I want to have some contrast. Don't want to make it look, because that face, that side of my face feels like it's broken. There we go. I still have a lot of orange here, so you know what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the same thing here with the wheel. I'm going to make this side of the wheel much more detail and leave the other side open. I'm going to have to sharpen this a little bit more. Notice I have a lot of blue where my beard is, so I'm going to make my clouds orange. Just like if I was drawing in black and white. Oh, forgot to do my ear. It is my ear. Spread it out here, but darken this side more. So there we go. So now, I'm not in particular fan of the color orange. I mean, it's not that I don't dislike it, it's just not one of those colors that ever spoke to me. So now, I cannot use orange there, but I can definitely use it here for my airplane pterodactyl. You ever watch the Flintstones? Hey, that's how they used to fly. That was their airplane, so now I realized that. I was trying to go primitive, and I guess I started thinking of the Flintstones. They would get on a pterodactyl, have something like a tied to the back of the animal, and that's how they would use it as a flight. Move around that rock or from one place to another in their Neolithic age. So I did watch that TV show a lot. So I'm going to put the orange more on this side now, on the surfboard. Leave those red lines in there. They do work, actually. I'm going to finish this. And we're almost done with our self-portrait, personal self-portrait like Basquiat. Put something personal, put where you've lived. We don't have to use symbols of those places you live. You don't have to tell us. I used to like to travel. Oh wow, so see how it's coming out, guys? So, so the question is, can I actually cover this in orange up here? And I think I can. Because if I go here, it will stop here. But I don't want to touch the bird too much. Notice I put the pterodactyl airplane from the Flintstones. I didn't know I was doing that until I psychoanalyzed myself. I go, why would you do that? Why did it come out like that? And that's why. Use that. Try to cover everything up with the colors you have. This is so weird now. It reminds me of like one of those 60s music albums they used to do in the old days. Like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club. And here, so I can frame, I'm going to go with red here. I notice I like warm colors a lot, too. And I'm going to use a lot of cross-hatching here. It's not only because I have the only pen I have right now, so I'm imagining what you guys have around the house. So sometimes artists, you have to work with what you have around you. Okay, that's a lot of red here. I just noticed that right here too. And both red and orange are warm colors. So I don't know what that says about me, but okay. Or the colors you pick might say a lot about you, so. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of my, I'm going to close this in. I'm going to close this in. I want to have a frame on it. I don't know why. I just have a thing for framing. My emotional lines. A few. Okay. And, good heavens. Maybe I should divide, like, oh, you know what? I just decided to make this into a yang and a yang. There you go. Mountains. Yeah, me and my mountains. They don't have to be perfect. So, here you guys go. So right now, let me grab some more soft of the orange here. I'm going soft here. I don't want to add too much. But this side, oh my god. This side, for some reason, I want this fully, no prisoners, filled in. But here, I'm leaving it softly crosshatch. And, oh my god, I think, I don't know what I did. It just came out okay. I'm going to grab some of this pink marker that's almost dying, or highlighter. I'm going to use this for the skyline here. It's not going to cover all of it because I know it's deteriorating, but it's going to work as a nice contrast because it's drying up. So follow the lines. So I'm kind of incorporating a little bit of Keith Haring too. Don't get me wrong, but we're trying to do it like Basquiat, and I pretty much like Basquiat. I put my personal injury. If you ever had an accident happen to you guys, put it in there. Put it in one of your 4 sections of your upper part. If you want to subdivide something your age, like I did here, go for it. What I'm going to do right now is this is going to change colors right now. It's going to turn into an orange. So there we go. And there's my self-portrait. So when you're done with this, guys, we're in class. I'm going to pull it out again, and you're going to do your self-portrait. There you go. Your abstract self-portrait done like John Basquiat. I got a wheel because I like to travel, as well as pterodactyl, you know, those dinosaur. My portrait, my face is subdivided into different colors. My eye injury. I picked 5 places I lived when I grew up as a kid. I used to skateboard and surf a lot when I was very young. I stopped when I was 20. It was time to grow up. I put a lot of mountain range lines and waves, okay, and lightning. So, and here's my self-portrait. So you guys do your self-portrait just like I showed you, or we saw from the Broad in the museum. And also, you have to look around different ways. You have to turn it upside down. You see the tower where I lived in Belgium, but also I have an upside-down landscape in the background. So I have the clouds up here, the mountains right here, you know, and here's the land. So I'm actually upside down. I'm not really supposed to be like this, but I'm really supposed to be upside down. I should have put the surfboard on the other way, but if you want to do something like that, go for it. So there you guys go. That's our project for week number 4, our self-portrait, just like John Basquiat, okay? Jean-Michel Basquiat. So there you guys go. And we are going to save this too. So we're going to grab your portfolio. Where's my R2 portfolio, guys? Oh boy, it's so warm. My ice cubes for my water already melted. So we're going to go on page number 2. Now, we're going to do an art. We're going to take this to this. We might have to fold our self-portrait later on. So I'm going to remove the tape very gently. Okay. And grabbing my self-portrait, my abstract self-portrait. Also looks like something Picasso would have done too. I just noticed that. So he was really, and we're going to tape this, and that's it, guys. We are done. So this sheet, I'm going to write the artist statement. Just how you guys wrote your critique, you're going to write your artist statement. So I'm going to fold the second page. yes, we're going to have to fold our beautiful self-portrait. You're going to do your actual physical self-portrait for easy 90 points for the final, because we're going to be getting into anatomy. And, well, we're going to have to start doing the whole human form. So I'm going to take this to this, and I'm going to fold it in 4 sides. I'm happy how it came out. And the reason is, when you go through a job interview and you can show them, yeah, I can do pop art too. I was talking to my friend who has, well, he's one of the owners of that printing company I mentioned down there in downtown LA. And they were hiring a kid, well, I shouldn't say a kid, a young man who just graduated from high school. He wants to go to art school at Cal State LA. He's a working student, and he actually showed, they said, because they heard me, I told them I'm making my R2 kids do their homemade portfolio. And he goes, that is brilliant, because they just hired a kid who had his personal portfolio. He had 3 of them. He had his AP portfolio, and he had his advanced, or basically like what you guys are doing right now, R2 portfolio. And he said the homemade one was the one they liked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it in 3 places. I'm going to put some toilet paper there, tissue, to protect the artwork. And I'm going to go this way, so it will not get all smeared up. Please, please, please fold. Be nice. Fold, fold, fold. It's not being nice. I'm going to fold it here. I am going to fold it this way so the colors will not smear on each other. I know it's horrible what we're doing to this artwork. I might have to fold it one more time to protect it. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to write an artist statement. Okay. We might have to put the tissue paper over this. Okay, artist statement. Write nicer than I do. Abstract art. Abstract art. Okay, we know it's abstract. Done as Jean-Michel Basquiat. Jean-Michel Basquiat. And go with Picasso. Let's go with Picasso. I think we were using Picasso too. Okay. So first you're going to describe the medium. Describe. It is a color abstract self-portrait drawing. We describe. We analyze. I'm recording, Mom. My mother just came in. So right now I'm doing describe, analyze. The analyze, we're going to talk about the art medium. So we're going to say warm versus cold colors. Describe the colors you use. And lines. Describe, analyze, interpret. The design principle, definitely describe, analyze, and interpret. We're interpreting warm versus cold colors. Colors reflect, expressing our personal, private history of either growing up. You know, in my case, it's places I picked up here where I lived. That's what your age, or an age that was very important. Any injuries you had, like Basquiat did. Mine was my eye injury. I've had other injuries too. And then you judge the piece or evaluate it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wanted my artwork to start looking something like Picasso and Basquiat, and then I just realized it's starting to look like Ziggy Stardust. You can write that down there too. So that's what artists do. We make our notes, we fold it, okay, fold it really nicely. I would put some tissue paper later on. And there you go. You got your second assignment in your notebook. Have a happy Sunday. I'm going to try to upload those for you guys. That's your art project for week number 2. We will do a self-portrait again, guys. But I'm gonna ask you guys to use a mirror for your self-portrait, and I'm gonna save that in your notebook. Put a piece of tissue paper on both sides. Don't see it, because in November we start doing right after Halloween. We're gonna get into anatomy drawing. Now, if you had me for Art 1 last year, it's gonna be different. Okay, guys, we're gonna be doing. I'm going to review a few eyeballs, noses, and ears for those who didn't have me because they had Miss Brown. Miss Brown didn't teach anatomy drawing like I did. But I'm going to do something different for both of you guys because my students they need something fresh. We will be focusing on the full human form. We have to draw action figures. So you ever thought about getting to animation or comic books? Or just design human design, and for different fields, because I don't know what you're in particular interested in. We have to know how to posture models, so I'm going to show you guys that after November. But that's why I have to do prior to that again the diagnostic of your self-portrait, and it's for you guys. So if you had me already for Art 1, you know the exercise. And everybody gets 90 points for it. Nobody gets penalized if it comes out bad. But we will have a sample, and we'll draw that next week too. And next week we have to start the design principles. We have to review them. Okay, guys? Anyways, have a good evening. Talk to you later. And I pray and have my fingers crossed that everything will get better. You guys take care.